So, as much as, people might be surprised about the topic that I am dying to get to, because it's not what they would think. It's not that. So that's why we'll do that one.
Oh, I know.
Because, it's actually the Comp Stomp. I am dying to talk about Comp Stomp returning for a big reason. A big reason that I think, could just make WoW actually better. So we'll get to that soon. But first up, Upgradeable Legendary in patch 9.1.
Wahoo!
Because I'm a hunter, and now this means that there could be 2 legendaries for me to upgrade. Ish.
Maybe.
So,
Who knows?
look, right? You might hear, or some people might hear, oh, hunters are getting a legendary in this patch. Oh my god. Imba. This is Imba. Imba, of course, being internet short for imbalanced.
God.
Or anything like that.
I've not seen that written down in years.
Yeah, I think Imba's kind of fallen out of vogue a bit. But, they might think that. But you know what, actually? I'm a very fantasy-driven player. Now, it does also happen to be the case that this is a hunter legendary, and I am maining a hunter. This will obviously be great for me, especially because it has an ability. Fresh, ability stuff on as well. That's all very good and exciting. But you know what? I'm fine with this being imbalanced. This time it's in my favor, but, when it was Telegosa, when it was Fangs of the Father, wasn't in my favor. And I thought that was cool. Because I actually think that doing legendaries like this, one-offs, just one weapon, maybe even for one class, I think that is a great thing. And the more they can do that without making it feel like it's just a pattern and it's boring, the better. And even if this messed up the race or messed up some balance thing, I wouldn't really give a shit, because I actually think that having really cool, unique, rare, flavorful items is a core part of an MMORPG experience in a way that basically makes it more important than the most finely, perfectly tuned balance.
Yeah, I'd love to see a portion of hunters who have killed Denathrius on Heroic versus portion of hunters who will have killed Sylvanas on Heroic by the end of the expansion. I don't want raw numbers because more people would roll hunter, but I want to see the percentage. Because I want to see, maybe even corrected for the additional hunters who are there for the bow because it's strong, but they're for the bow for the fantasy. I would imagine quite a lot, because
I want to get it for the fantasy.
The idea
in my character.
The idea of that being actual goal to work towards, and I mean even re-killing so it drops. I almost want it in that
and that's in a way where it's based on the fantasy, because we're playing a fantasy game.
Yeah.
So I think that even though stuff like this might not be balanced, and I'm sure Blizzard had to think quite a lot about that internally before they did this, because the game is quite different from when we used to have legendaries like this. I think this was absolutely the right move for Blizzard to make. I am happy they made it. So massive thumbs up to Blizzard on doing something like this. And in the next patch, when this happens, or not the next patch, but the next time this happens, it won't be for a hunter. I will still be praising it. I probably won't be flavor of the month re-rolling to just get the new thing, but I think it's great. The more we can get class-related content, just nice little flavorful things, I think that's just awesome.
Yeah.
Now for the specifics for today's news. First up, upon obtaining it, you will get a Feat of Strength in your achievements. That's just like the old legendaries of the past. But then the new thing, the big new thing, I'll read what Darkwards prep for us here. You'll also be able to upgrade this legendary bow to higher difficulty levels from lower ones, meaning you won't have to farm the same item again at higher item level. However, in order to upgrade the legendary bow, you need to get an upgrade item, which most likely drops from Sylvanas, though it's currently not on the loot table. Meaning that this could be functionally equivalent to just getting the bow drop again, depending on the drop rate of the upgrade items. But I suppose there is one thing. Could the bow drop and the upgrade item, which would mean that, one person getting a higher item level bow, let's just say their guild has moved from normal to heroic, person A who already got the bow from normal mode could upgrade theirs, while person B could just get the fresh new bow. And, maybe something like that. It's a part of why Blizzard have done this. Hard to say.
Maybe.
So there's currently only upgrade items to take you from normal to heroic. And this is the big one. Heroic to mythic.
Yeah.
Wow. Heroic to mythic.
So, I imagine you'll get the ethereal fletching from mythic, so
yeah,
that's still pretty it's the kind of thing where
take it up, I guess.
It's fundamentally not massive, but at the same time, the reason I think this is cool is because it's solving a problem that's a little bit of a immersion breaker problem. Because imagine you get the bow drop, and you're replacing your normal bow with your heroic bow. So you just vendor it like.
Yeah, it would feel a bit weird, wouldn't it?
So they've made it feel like an actual important item that you're upgrading, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I think this is great. I'm really happy about it. Decker also did say, one thing to note from previous Legendary drops, however, like Amantul's Vision from Antorus, is that it did not drop on LFR difficulty. So this may be the case for Sylvanas' bow. And I do think that's fair. I don't think a Lego should be dropping from LFR. That is obviously not a personal attack on any LFR players, but I think it's a fundamental thing. Like, look, if this was heroic, if it was heroic only, I'd still stand to gain because I'm a heroic raider, but you know, I do feel like at some point you do have to draw the line and be like, no, this is a prestige item. Like, this is an item that, you know, you as a new player, you know, you see that, and it's a bit of a North Star to you. It's exciting. Yeah. You know, it's the sort of item you want to waste your time in order to get because it's cool. So I think this is great. And, you know, it's great that, you know, the hunters are getting some love this time. Definitely saying that as a hunter, so I have a little bit of a bias coming in, probably. But, you know what? I think next time this happens to another class, I'll still be really happy for them. So I think this is an awesome change. Thumbs up, Blizz.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, Blizz. There we go.
Absolutely.
Next, then, we've got...
Man, I'm still surprised at how, like, smart that is.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's just nice. Elegant.
Yeah.
Happy days.
That's the way to put it. It's elegant. They're like, yeah, well, here's... This could have been bullshit. Instead, it's not bullshit. Yeah. Have fun. Like,
I'm also just going to say, hey, Blizz, upgrade items. See that? That's a pretty base move. Yeah. So, gonna give him a suggestion, right? I think this idea of an upgrade item, have a think about that. I don't mean this for gear, but I would mean this for things like conduits, you know? Give us an upgrade item from our raids and stuff like that could maybe let us upgrade our conduits in a more direct manner, you know? You know, you right-click the item, and then it opens up your conduit window, the little library of them. You then click on the conduit that you want to upgrade the item level of and do a direct upgrade. I think a token like that you get from a raid would be, you know, that would be a form of conduit upgrades that I would actually look at, and I would decide, okay, I will engage in this.
Yeah.
Because there is no randomness past the point of earning the reward. And I think that's it for me. It's randomness past the point of having earned the reward that I don't like. So, just a thought.
Jam the game full of tokens that we can go and get and do whatever we want with.
It might not be the most elegant thing, but hey, if it works for now, why not?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, even the weapon token felt really nice to me. I mean, they would usually get away with it by like offering quest rewards from either one-hander or two-hander, but getting the weapon token from the Covenant campaign quest, the last one, I had just gotten the offhand token in LFR, and I was like, oh, I get to make a decision. I get to get a two-hander or a one-hander with the token at the shop, and then I can also buy the offhand. Oh, I'll buy the one-hand instead of the two-hand. And it actually was an item level upgrade because I had a higher item level offhand, but it was just like the idea of me going to the tokens and looking at the vendor and going, oh, yep, I can make this decision whenever I want. I was like, you know what? These tokens feel nice.
It would be awesome. It's like, Blizz, I get that, you know, maybe they made the decision on weapon tokens and sunsetting them after Castle Nathria. Like, I get they made that decision, and that the reason why they did those weapon tokens was far more about aesthetics and fantasy, but I think it worked great in terms of the game mechanics, and I'd really love to see that maybe come in the next raid. I think that would be pretty cool.